I came down here and the water was actually red. You know, I wasn't drinking or anything and took anything, but the water was red. Also, my best mate, James, his dad used to own the Exorcist house, and he actually said that one day he saw this woman in the window, and as he went into the house to see who it was, the woman wasn't there.
Welcome to Haunted Lynn. Lynn, a thriving town in Norfolk, England. Formerly known as Bishop's Lynn, the seaport and market town now boasts over 50,000 inhabitants, growing at a quick rate. During the 14th century, Lynn was ranked as England's most important port, even ahead of big cities such as Liverpool. With such a long and rich history, King's Lynn is said to have its fair share of haunting stories. During this documentary, I will expose and explain some of these interesting stories. Our first location is the Red Mount, which is located in the Walks. The Red Mount is the highest point of the Walks, offering elevated viewpoints of the landscape from the structure itself and from the mound which partially surrounds it. The structure is unique and its importance is reflected in its status as a scheduled ancient monument / Grade 1 listed building. The late 15th century Red Mount Chapel was a wayside chapel for pilgrims on their way to the shrine of Our Lady Walsingham. The upper chapel of 1506 has a fan-vaulted roof, further decorated with quarterfoils which inspired the design of the pilgrimage trail plaque. Legend says that a tunnel once ran between Greyfriars Priory and the curious Red Mount Chapel. Another tunnel, now bricked up, was also thought to have connected the Priory to the White Hart pub, both in St James's Street. The pub itself is supposed to be haunted by a monk. Our next destination is a very interesting one, Devil's Alley. Norfolk used to boast the Devil's Hoofprint in King's Lynn, said to be a remainder of his thwarted attempts to steal souls after arriving to the town by ship. Legend has it that he was spotted by a preset who cornered him in what is now known as Devil's Alley, banishing him back to the netherworld with prayers and holy water. The infuriated devil stamped his foot in fury, and with such force that it left an imprint and a reminder of the chaos he could wreak. Devil's Alley was once complete roofed like a tunnel and ran all the way to the quayside. It is said that rather than an imprint in the ground, the alley showed at its darkest point a queer cobble in the pavement shaped like a gigantic human foot. While the alley remains, the footprint has long disappeared, a victim of the modern roadworks which have seen the cobbles resurface. But one mystery remains. In 1881, the alley was only called Miller's. Our final location is the Exorcist house. The Exorcist house is perhaps one of the most haunting places in King's Lynn, and that's why we've left it till last. In the medieval period, the role of an exorcist was an important one. Illnesses, in particular many mental illnesses, that caused people to behave in strange or frightening ways were poorly understood, and the sufferers were often to be possessed by demons. In a number of passages in the Bible, Jesus is shown casting out demons and even spirits that have possessed unfortunate people. This cottage was thought to be the place of many exorcisms during the medieval period, and to this day is said to be haunted. A curious figure took up residence in the Exorcist house in the 20th century. Frederick Robert Buckley, also known as F.R. Buckley, was a writer and, later, a broadcaster. He lived for many years in the United States and published a number of novels and short stories during the interwar years. Although his wife's death in 1931, he appears to have returned to England. After the Second World War, he was a writer and broadcaster for the BBC. In his later years, he moved to the Exorcist house in King's Lynn. Little is known about Buckley, and his association with the Exorcist house may have fueled rumours about his interests. An article published in King's Lynn magazine in 2016 contains an account of Buckley's apparently eccentric behaviour. a young man who jumped to take a photograph of the house that his camera shot at and jumped. And Buckley told him that he was a wizard and expert on the occult who advised the local police about black magic rites. In addition to this, while speaking to the owner of the cottage, who has lived there for 30 years, we learnt that every February she sees a young boy upstairs playing with coins, normally around the time when the traditional Mat comes to King's Lynn shortly down the road. We will see you in part 2, where we will be exploring deeper into the town's history.